Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. An idea dumb enough for the Wii era, but for some reason is happening right now.
Mario plus Rabbids is a series that started back in 2017 with the game Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. It sold about 2 million copies, a very respectable number, and got quite a bit of praise critically. This led to Ubisoft to make a sequel, Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, that also received almost universal praise critically. And Ubisoft is disappointed by the sales of Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope.
What happened to this game? Did it just release at a bad time and never stood a chance? Or is Mario with a gun an idea that only works once?
The original Mario plus Rabbids was considered a success by both Ubisoft and Nintendo, which is made clear by the existence of the sequel. They even seemed really confident in its success, releasing in the launch year of the Switch. It released alongside titles like The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. And yet, it was still able to sell those 2 million copies.
Why did it do so well? We all know it wasn't because of Rabbid Peach's sex appeal. It was because of Rabbid Mario's.
Now, we all know sex appeal isn't everything, even if it is incredibly important.
Well, what made people want to buy Kingdom Battle in the first place, besides the obvious?
Well, it was a very unique idea. While we've seen Mario in RPGs before, we've never seen Mario in a tactical gun RPG before. But I don't think it being a unique idea was what brought it all of the success alone.
And at the end of the day, it had what matters most. It was just a good game.
It was decently difficult, well-balanced, and all-around entertaining. And with a game concept like this, it has to be good, because how else are you going to convince people to buy a game featuring the minions of gaming? In fact, the initial perception around the game seemed negative, with people writing it off as just some gimmick that Ubisoft decided to do with Nintendo.
Oh yeah, didn't Nintendo do a collaboration between the Rabbids and Mario? That sounds like it would suck. Actually, I played it. It was pretty good. How did anyone buy such a stupid idea? Actually, it's a really good tactic game. It's beginner-friendly, but still difficult towards the end. It all feels like it flows together perfectly. Maybe I'll have to check it out someday.
Interactions like that probably led to plenty more sales over the years. Now, obviously, Sparks of Hope can't be unique in the same way the original was, but it still has plenty of stuff to help it do well.
So then why aren't people gushing about this game the same way they did with Kingdom Battle?
Healing vibes, literally. Hashtag healing journey.
Why? Now, obviously, it didn't release at the most opportune time. It released a week before one of the few things that can compete with Rabbid Mario sexually. And it also didn't have the novelty of being the first official time Mario holds a gun.
And giving Mario an extra gun just isn't as cool as the first time he has a gun.
But I still believe the biggest problem is that the game feels wrong, you know? Does it take? Yeah.
Now, obviously, a game not feeling right isn't super describable, but this game just does a lot of little things that lead to the game not feeling great. And if the game doesn't feel right, it's a little bit harder to have those interactions and recommend it to other people. But what about the game just doesn't feel right? First and foremost, they managed to mess up the movement for an RPG. The bar is not high for RPG movement. Your character just has to move at a decent pace relative to the world. Your character moves slow, even with the run button, which would be forgivable, but you can bonk. Take that corner a little too fast? What-oh, that's 2 seconds of your life gone. Bonking is a mechanic often used in platformers for when your movement isn't completely precise. It works just fine there because the game is testing me on my ability to move my character. But in an RPG, you're testing my movement?
Honestly, it's just a poor decision, and it leads to the game feeling wrong. No? You only get that once. You could pay for more.
The movement issues extend to when you're in battle as well. See, they decided to use a unique type of strategy combat for this game. Most strategy games function on a grid where you select where you would like to stand based on that grid. But in Sparks of Hope, you have a set movement range that you can move anywhere within. But what this means is that any tiny movement can affect the range of what you are able to hit. So they made the characters move slower so you can be more precise with where your characters are standing. Overall, this sounds fine, but sometimes combat just starts to feel slow. This is solvable too. There's a run button on the overworld, but you can't use it in battle. I think it would be super simple. Just put the sprint button in battle as well. But then they might make it possible for you to bonk in battle, so maybe don't do that. And while we're talking about the battles, some things in those just feel wrong too. For example, every character has a little animation that they play when they use their special abilities. And for some reason, whenever they play this little simple animation, it brings them to this Final Fantasy XII quickening void to perform them.
This stuff was accepted back in 2006 when the hardware couldn't handle the complex animation, but today it just feels like a cop-out.
These longer animation also further slow down the already decently slow feeling combat.
And you know what the best way to speed up the combat is? That sexy bastard Rabbid Mario!
In Kingdom Battle, combat felt very synergistic. No matter what team you were running, everyone had to work together to be the most effective team possible.
Not in this game. Rabbid Mario is the best character to the point where it's not even a contest.
He has the most health, does the most damage, and the only tiny drawback is that his range is kinda short.
And the final nail in the coffin to turn the sexy Rabbid into the best thing in the game? You can make him invincible. Just invincible. He's invincible. You can't, they can't hit him. They can't shoot at him. It's ridiculous.
All you gotta do is collect a couple of the sparks. The sparks are these little cute rabbit Luma guys. Oh. But you can equip them to your characters to give them new abilities. But we only need to worry about one, and it's Etherin. His ability is to turn the character invisible, which means as long as you aren't near another character when they use an AoE attack, which is really easy because none of your characters can even keep up with Rabbid Mario, you'll become completely safe from all damage. So you run straight into the enemy, get as much damage as you can, and then go invisible. And then none of them can hit you. And if you max out this Sparks level, which isn't hard to do either, Rabbid Mario will only be visible once every 3 turns, which is incredibly easy to play around.
And not to mention, you can have 2 sparks. So on top of being invisible and unhittable, you could heal yourself or have even more attack or anything else because he's not broken enough.
This all leads to the combat not feeling synergistic. It doesn't feel that strategic either in a strategy game.
Why would I make a new strategy when I made my strategy hours ago back in World 2? I'm still winning. It's all your fault, Rabbid Mario. You're the reason Ubisoft lost all that money. Maybe you wanted that. Ubisoft hasn't exactly been the best of companies recently. Maybe with all of the different things going on around them, you knew they needed to learn a lesson. Wow. Can't believe not only are you sexy as you are, you have a beautiful heart too. Man, I could kiss you right